Hey guys, Zeke here, and I'm just here to show you a few tips that really helped me when it came to drawing faces. First up, I watched this really great video by Javi Draws. You could check that video out right here. And that was really the secret that unlocked my ability to finally draw my characters consistently. And let's jump right in, I'll show you what I mean. First of all, one of the best things that I learned from Javi is starting with the nose and then drawing the triangle out to where the eyes would be and drawing the little superhero mask. This really helped me place the eyes more consistently, and seeing as the noses are just such a major aspect of the character design, if you can draw your character's nose accurately, at least the width, then I find that you can actually draw the whole face pretty accurate. So that was the major thing that made a difference for me when it came to drawing my characters, and I was feeling really inspired this time. So with that said, here's some drawings that I did using Javi's method. Let me introduce you to this character of mine. His name is Hirsch Hollander, and he is a character in a historic fiction work of mine. He is a Sinti and Jewish mixed character, and he's kind of a sly, cool, confident character who always dresses to the nines. And here I'm just drawing some hand poses just because the body language adds a lot to the character's expression. And yeah, Javi's method works really well for a profile image as well, as long as you're still drawing that line coming out from where the nostrils would be angled. I found that that gives the eyes the perfect depth in the skull, even at this angle. And now I'm going to try some more difficult angles, testing out that same method, seeing how well I can do that. And I found that it's pretty easy once you get used to how to draw that little mask. And once you kind of basically understand perspective, you don't have to be a master at it really. I was struggling a little bit here with the angle of the eyes and how much was going to be overlapped by his cheek. But I think, for the most part, I got it. I don't know, what do you think? Just filling out his body here, get that angle, and, you know, make him nice and manly. Boop, boop. And it's about this point that I realized I haven't saved in a while. So let's go ahead and do that before I ruin everything. Just a little bit more about my character Hirsch. He is almost always seen with a cigar. Granted, in 1930s Germany at the time, they would not have had a lot of cigars very readily available, but that is something that I wanted to include anyway, so hopefully I can fudge history a little bit there. And, you know, if you really want to do a deep dive into some interesting cigar history, there's a cool book called The Cigar Factory of Isai Rottenberg. It's the hidden history of a Jewish entrepreneur in Nazi Germany. One of the little discussed things is the Aryanization of Jewish companies throughout Germany during that time. In the 30s, a lot of the Jewish business owners were forced, coerced, and manipulated into selling their businesses to the Germans. And if you want to learn more about that, again, check out that book. There's a lot on that subject as well. I plan to cover a little bit of that in my stories, but not with this character in particular. But now you know, a little bit of cigar history for all of you who are totally curious about that. things I really enjoy drawing is like neck flaps that are kind of when the collar is too tight and you get that little bulge just over the edge. I don't know. It's a fun little quirk that I like to give my characters. I imagine Hirsch kind of keeps his collar really tight, maybe a little bit tighter than he should, just to look a bit more prim and proper. The reason that Hirsch always dresses to the nines is because growing up as a Sinti, of course, he had a bad reputation, simply because of who he was, and a lot of people just assumed the worst of him, that he was a dirty little thief, that he came from no money, and he tried to live an honorable life, and it didn't matter what he did, because the perception never really changed, and he couldn't change people's perception of him. So he did try, always trying to dress nicely, doing a lot to overcompensate for his reputation. It's kind of a sad aspect of his character, but I think it gives him a lot of depth, and also it gives me a reason to draw characters in nice suits. But that's just him. He's kind of this charismatic leader in the later Jewish resistance in Berlin, and even though he's very charismatic and a good leader, he still has his own insecurities, a lot of which he tries to keep out of the public eye, not because of shame, but mostly because he just doesn't want to bring the group morale down, and that's a major aspect of his character, kind of feeling like he has to be almost the mascot of his group, and he goes through a lot to prove himself. Okay, so I wanted to try to draw like his cheesy grin, but I'm kind of struggling here. Getting the width of the mouth right, and the angle is still something I struggle with. And yeah, the teeth, kind of trying to get that in perspective. Not exactly working, but the good thing about digital art, you know, you can kind of fudge things, and don't be afraid of using the transform tool, which you'll see me use here after struggling with the chin. is still looking a little bit uncanny there. So I'm gonna try to make his mouth a little bit smaller, change the angle, and it's still not looking right exactly. I mean, better. I don't know. And, well, you know, you win some and you lose some. And this is just one of those drawings that's kind of a bit of a flop, but I like to keep it there anyway. You know, it's good to see your mistakes. Yeah. Moving right along. Okay, yeah, so, there was a bug on my arm, and I forgot to stop the recording there for a second while I dealt with that. There was a lot of screaming, the gnashing of teeth, much wailing. Yeah, but that was disturbing. I was just kind of sitting there minding my own business, and I felt something on my arm, and I was like, maybe it's a piece of lint. Nope, it's never lint. Yeah, I kind of freaked out, and, dealt with that. So many arm scrubbings later, I could still feel it on me, and I kind of used that feeling to fuel the next few drawings here and the expressions, because I couldn't quite get over it. But that's kind of the best part about being an artist, right? Is expressing yourself through your characters. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that it's pretty good, but I think I could do it better. See about exaggerating here. Yeah, there we go. Bit of disgust and rage, if you ever wondered what that looked like. Have a bug crawl across your arm in the middle of a video recording, and you too will be able to draw expressions just like this. Aren't you excited? Okay. Looking a little obscene here, but work with me. Let's try to get like a disgusted look, but I think, you know, looks like something else is going on. Yeah. Yep. We're just gonna go with that. I know what you're thinking. And, yeah, I got nothing. I can't forget to draw his watch there. Or, you know, some semblance scribble of a watch. Get the little Ghibli lines in there. Yeah, let's do another one. I really like drawing in profile. I think it's kind of fun. Still working on getting that consistent exactly, but you know, at this point I'm just really having fun with it. Maybe we'll do something with his hands like that. Like a sort of at least in my head that's what he's saying. I find drawing men to be easier because I get to draw so many lines on the face, especially older guys, you know. There's just so many expressive lines I can use that if I used that on a younger character or like a young woman, it would definitely add years to her face like I'm doing here. But no, I really enjoy a lot of line mileage in my expressions, like all the little subtle things, eyebrow twitches, nose wrinkles, frazzled hair, like in this case. I don't know, maybe I should try that expression on like a young character, see how it goes. Yeah, and can't forget his cigar. So, just draw that, tapping out the ashes. You know, priorities. Okay, enough funny business. Let's see if I can actually draw him seriously again. Redeem his his destroyed character after all those silly faces I made him perform. And we're gonna see if I can't do a better confident smile this time. You know, maybe 2 times a charm. Again, body language is really important. I love giving asymmetry to the shoulders. Gives a lot of movement to the pose. Using the hands to express the character can really change an entire facial expression. And then with this last one here, I really just want to try to challenge myself with the angle, see how far I can take it, kind of exaggerate it maybe. Kind of losing steam by this point. Yeah, I'm just having fun at this point. I don't even know. What else? What else can I say about this character? Yeah, okay, so puffy chest, hairy beyond all reason. Yeah, okay, so there you have it. I really had a lot of fun with this one. Again, that tutorial by Javi Draws really helped me out with consistency of my character and really inspired me just to get back to drawing what I love, which is cartoony, expressive characters. And, I feel like this was mostly a success, especially compared to what I had been doing. I would definitely give that a shot. Again, start with the nose and really know your character design, because if you got those main features down, then no matter what angle, you can kind of draw them doing the craziest, most exaggerated expressions and still be recognizable. But I don't know, tell me what you think. Critiques? Comments? Anything? Leave it in the comments, let me know. And you guys have a great day.